Well, tonight the Helena City Commission unanimously agreed on the first passage of an ordinance temporarily suspending city code that prevented medical marijuana dispensaries from operating in the city limits. A section of the code currently prevents the city from issuing a license to a business that's permitted by state law but federally prohibited. In September, the city annexed an area east of Granite Street, south of Highway 12 West, and west of city limits. The moratorium would allow a medical marijuana dispensary to continue running in the newly annexed area and give City Council time to consider whether to amend the current code. At tonight's meeting, one person spoke in favor of the move.
The system in place right now to change providers is very long and arduous. So if this dispensary closes down, it will affect a lot of patients and their ability to access medicine safely.
There is a public hearing set for December 17th. And Anna Cortez will serve as Helena's next city manager. Commissioners approved her employment agreement tonight, which she has already signed. Now, her start date is January 23rd. Cortez is currently the assistant city manager for Yakima, Washington. And she previously worked for a number of cities in California and was among the 116 applicants for the position. The former manager Ron Alice stepped down from the position at the end of June, and Dennis Taylor is currently serving as city manager. And currently serving as our chief meteorologist, right next to me right now, Curtis Kremenitz.
Hopefully,
and hopefully for a long time. You didn't let me finish.
All right. Hey, we could use a little change in here to kind of mix out these stubborn clouds that have been around for a couple of days. We're going to get it, but we're going to get some colder air along with it. Take a look at long range here. There will be a front that comes down from Canada here, bringing with it some Arctic air here. And you know, the last two winters really seemed like they got going in the first week of December in both 2016 and also 2017, where we had Arctic air come in with some snow. And here's the front coming down here late Tuesday night and really moving into the state here Wednesday. But most of the cold air moves off towards the east by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. So it's just a glancing blow, briefly bitterly cold here over the course of 24 hours. It will be pretty chilly. Some lows may get down below zero. Wind chills could be potentially below zero as well, and there will be a little snow, but otherwise not really seeing much in the way of big time accumulating snow anytime soon. And the weekend ahead looks fairly quiet. I'll have more of the full forecast coming up.
Well, the Montana Department of Public Health and Human Services has confirmed that a 6-year-old Missoula girl has died from the flu. Allison Eagle Speaker's mother said she died on Saturday due to complications from the flu, pneumonia, and asthma. Eagle Speaker was a kindergartner, and she is the first flu-related death in Montana this season, and unfortunately the 5th flu-related pediatric death nationwide. There was a memorial service for Allison at the Open Door Baptist Church in Missoula earlier tonight. Now, last flu season, Montana saw 79 flu-related deaths, and just one was in a person under the age of 18. Now, despite all the political rhetoric over Obamacare, it's still the law of the land, and that law is helping thousands of Montanans buy health insurance policies on the individual market. Well, MTN's Mike Dennison has the latest on the health insurance internet marketplace, policies right here in Montana.
Earlier this year, Republicans in Congress eliminated the Affordable Care Act's mandate that all citizens must have health insurance. But Congress has not repealed another key component of the law, federal subsidies to help those buying policies on the individual market. Sign up for these policies is underway. The deadline to sign on and get the subsidy is December 15th, a week from Saturday. Just like in years before, Montana consumers who want the subsidy must buy a policy through the federal website, healthcare.gov.
Not much has changed, and I think people are becoming more familiar with the process. It's an opportunity for folks to go online, shop the differences between health insurers, shop the differences between the cost and the benefit structure, and find the plan that works for them. 3
insurers offer the policies in Montana: Blue Cross, Pacific Source, and the Montana Health Co-op. Currently, about 50,000 people in Montana have these policies. But they aren't cheap. They range from a low of $324 a month for young adults up to $1,200 a month for those approaching 65. And deductibles are in the range of $5,000 to $7,000 a year. Yet, if you earn less than 400% of the federal poverty line, almost $66,000 a year for a couple, you could be eligible for a subsidy. Richard Miltenberger of the Health Co-op says with the subsidies, most Montanans pay a lot less, sometimes as little as $50 a month. 85% of Montanans who bought policies in the past have been eligible for the subsidy. Despite a lack of publicity about the marketplace policies this year, Montana insurers say they're hoping enrollment will be pretty much the same as last year.
I think enrollment is still steady. A lot of people understand the value of having a health insurance plan, whether that's the access that you get to primary care or whether it's that financial safety net that you have in times of crisis.
Reporting from Helena, Mike Dennison, MTN News.
Now, some alternative policies are also becoming available that cover less but cost less, and they don't qualify for any subsidies. Well, former Vice President Joe Biden was in Missoula tonight speaking at an event on the University of Montana campus. The 47th Vice President spoke and read excerpts from his best-selling books at the Dennison Theater. He's the author of Promises to Keep on Life and Politics and the #1 New York Times best-selling memoir, Promise Me, Dad, A Year of Hope, Hardship, and Purpose. Biden will visit Grand Prairie, Texas next on January 24th. And Montana Tech is proposing a plan that could drastically eliminate programs and cut staff and faculty at the Butte University. Now, the plan proposed on Friday would help Montana Tech cut its budget by eliminating about 13 faculty positions and 10 staff members. Now, the report aims to reduce between $500,000 and $1 million from the university budget, and it comes after Montana Tech saw a drop in enrollment of about 100 students this past fall. Now, one of the report's recommendations is eliminating some non-engineering related departments at the university.
Presently, I have some concerns about some of the cuts, I think, being a little too deep and in particular impacting the non-engineering departments too heavily.
It seems to me to be a short-sighted, I would say ill-conceived permanent solution to temporary problem.
Tech officials will take campus feedback and issue a revised version of the report this Friday. The Superintendent of Public Instruction, Elsie Artson, and Governor Steve Bullock joined middle school students in Helena today for an hour of code. Nearly 200 schools across the state participated in the event, which highlights the importance of computer science education. Both Arnson and Bullock participated in a computer science lesson with the students, and together they played an educational game that required Python coding to move their character. Bullock says computer science is used in an increasing number of professions.
So it really does afford the opportunity to give students the exposure early on to what they'll need going forward, and then they can build upon that as they go.
Bullock also announced a proposed $250,000 investment into computer science education across the state. Well, thousands continue to pour through the Capitol Rotunda in Washington, D.C., honoring the life and service of former President George H.W.